Welcome back to Against My Better Judgment, the podcast where two friends,
I'm Tamara Golden.
and I'm Dannelle Whiteside, tell the truth, share the lessons, and laugh about the moments that we knew better but did it anyway. Each week we share real stories about our lives, about the times that life surprised us, stretched us, or just straight up humbled us, and the lessons that we learned along the way.
And this season, it's Just Because. Today, Dannelle is going to speak about just because I'm busy doesn't mean I don't have time.
Yep.
I like it.
Yeah, but before we get into that, how have you been? Wait, you just came back from the happiest place on earth.
I will tell you, it is true. I've never been to Disney World before.
I didn't know that.
Nope, never before.
I did not know that.
And I will tell you, I did Disney. There is nothing that Disney has
That you didn't
I did not do. I also did a day of Epic. So,
Epic Universe?
yes.
Okay, that's the park we went to last year.
Oh, okay.
With Mario and
Yes. So I will tell you, shout out to the Griffies. That trip was planned. I didn't even have to think about what I put on the next day. Like it was planned. It was planned. I didn't have to think about where I was going to go eat, what I was going to put on, where I was going to go. And we did it Epic 2 days were a full out VIP tour. So we were able to get in.
Y'all paid some money.
It was not inexpensive. But I will say, if you cannot all do it, it was nice because we were able to get in the rides that we really, really wanted. We're able to do them multiple times and take advantage of that part of it, that perk.
Yeah.
And then on the back end, we were able to just do the lightning lanes and just not worry about those experiences.
Yeah.
Because I did Disney.
Oh, I love that for you.
It was a blast.
How were the boys?
They were great. They were great. It was a good time to get to know them beyond story time because most weeks I get them and I read to them before they go to bed. But this was a great time to get to know them like in a totally different light.
Yeah.
So it was really, really, really fun.
That's cool.
Thanks,
love
Griffies.
that.
So how was your week?
Well, I reached an important milestone and I'm so excited about this. So I've mentioned this before on the podcast that I am the executor for my grandmother's estate. And so I got word from the court earlier this week that we can close everything.
I wish I had a horn. I feel like I should hit the table.
Yes,
good job.
Thank
that is
you.
a
Thank
huge
you.
milestone.
It is. And, shout out to all of my family who was involved. It was relatively smooth.
Oh, great. That's always nice.
We've read in law school how much of a drama it can be. We know from family and friends that we've heard of that it could be a really tough process. And so I cannot overstate how cooperative most people were. And I really feel proud that I was able to do this for my grandmother and put the final touches on the things that she asked for. And it's a huge relief to have that done. So
good for you. I'm happy that is big.
Yeah.
So let's get to it.
Yeah. So just because I am busy doesn't mean I don't have time. So I'm going to take it 3 different directions.
Okay.
So
Because this is very confusing to me.
buckle your seatbelt. We're going to go 3 different directions. So the first is I make time for the things and the people that I care about, even if I'm busy. So, we all have 24 hours in a day and we devote those to work, to our family, and like I said, to things and people that we love and care about. And so, but sometimes my friends say to me that, I didn't bother you with this because I didn't think that you had the time. And I constantly tell them I care about you, so I want to be there for you. And so you're never burdening me when you tell me something or you reach out and say, I need something. And so, I'm not going to tell one of my closest friends, but you probably know who it is now, but he was going through a situation And I had noticed, like, I haven't been hearing from him like I normally am. And so I called, and we finally, actually, me and him and my other best friend got on the phone, and he was like, well, y'all, I've been dealing with this one thing. And I'm like, dude, he's like, well, but I figured it all out and it's fine now. And I'm like, you know, and so it's like, well, I don't want to worry you guys. I'm like, I devote my time to people that I love because I care about them, and I want to. You're never a burden to me. You're never, you know, you're always on my mind and on my heart. I'm always thinking about you, even if I don't necessarily have time to pick up the phone and call you that day, or, you know, whatever it may be, but you are always on my heart and on my mind. And so,
does he have trouble asking for help just in general?
Yeah. And I think we've talked about that on this podcast before.
Yep.
I think that's a common struggle that a lot of us have, but also, like, you know, just understand that just because I'm busy doesn't mean I don't have time.
Yep.
Like, I will make, you know, we all have 20, like I said, we only have 24 hours in a day, but if I care about you, you can have some of that time, you know, and I'll rearrange things to make time for you. And it's like, sometimes, like, you know, our mutual friend, Catherine, we'll text each other and be like, all right, we're going to put something on the calendar, because we will not, it could be 6 months between.
I haven't talked to Catherine probably.
That's what I'm saying. It can be 6 months before we talk again. And that's okay. Cause I know she's busy, and she knows I'm busy. And if we do want to catch up, we have to put it on the calendar. So there's some people that I have to do that for. And so I just, you know, just say, just because I'm busy doesn't mean I will not make time for the things and the people that I care about. And so if you have friends in your life who are busy, if you have family in your life who you know are busy, they still want to be involved. And one of my things is, like, that's what makes me feel normal. Is when I am involved in other people's lives that I love and care about, because I can be off doing these other things and it could make me feel, you know, I guess not high and mighty, but, like, you know, you're in rooms that are important, having conversations that are consequential. And, you know, so sometimes you might feel like, oh, I'm having to put on that Dannelle today. But when I talk to my friends, I can just be myself.
It's like grounding.
Yeah, it's very grounding. And thank you. And so when you give me that opportunity, like, that's helpful to me too, to be able to be like, no, I really want to pour into you, even if I just have 30 minutes to hear what your day is or what you've been going through lately. Like, you know, I will make the time.
I will agree with that. But I do think there are some people, and this is certainly not you by any means, but there are some people who think the idea of being busy makes them feel important and makes them feel good about themselves. So they lead you to believe that they are so busy that you really don't want to reach out to them, because they have put out this aura that they're just too busy for anything. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, it's good to hear people say it sometimes, because sometimes you hear it and it's like, well, there's no way I can add to that. I do not want to add to that person that's already kind of overworked, busy, at capacity, no more bandwidth. Yeah. So I think sometimes it's good to just, like what you did, you hadn't heard from your friend in a while, so you picked up the phone and called. I think that's that friendship that we talked about last season. So I think it's important to hear that. And then it's also important to do your call, like schedule some time with Catherine, like, to do something. So I like that. Yep.
The second thing is, don't count my time. Okay. Don't count my time.
What do you mean by that?
So one of the things is, don't assume that I won't show up.
Oh, wow. I would see, if anything, I'm going to assume that you would.
So my mom, she told me, she was like, I'm trying to figure out how much of this I want to say. So she said that someone called her and said, I want to ask Dannelle if she'll go with me to a medical appointment that I have. And she said, girl, I told her, don't worry, Dannelle, about something like that. She's got too much going on. I'll just take you, blah, blah. And I was like, look here. Like, you just interfered with my ability to, back to point one, to connect with someone who genuinely thought that I would be the person that they wanted to be there for them. And so, like, don't count my time. It happens a lot, like, also professionally, where, you know, someone might have said, well, maybe Dannelle might be willing to serve on this committee or do this project, but she's busy. She's probably can't do that. And it's like, no, give me the opportunity to tell you whether I can fit that into my schedule before you count me out.
Yeah.
And so, like,
let you speak for you.
Let me speak for me. I can tell you if it is a yes, it's a yes. And if it's a no, I can tell you that too. But don't just make an assumption that because I'm busy that, she won't want to be bothered with that.
Yeah, I like that. And that goes again, sometimes it's just good to hear it and let people know that, because I'm always big on, I do not like people answering for me.
Yeah.
I just don't. And I don't like also someone telling me something and then giving me the answer and what they're telling me. It's like I was sort of invited to something. I don't even know if I was even invited. It's kind of like, hey, we're having this, but I'm sure you don't want to go because it's all the way over here. Well, I don't even think I was invited. Like,
right. Did you really want me to come?
Correct. And that's that was exactly my response. Like, okay, you don't want me to come because you've just almost talked me out of it. So I think it's very important to your point, like, let people speak for themselves. Yeah. Like, and that makes it so much easier.
Yeah. Extend the invitation. If they can't come, they can't. If they can, they'll be more than happy to. But, like, don't make the decision for them. Let them make it for themselves.
Absolutely.
And then finally,
and wait. And even on that one though,
okay,
just because that is a unique example, totally get your point. But I will say it is nice sometimes to have someone stand in the gap for us and someone to try to protect our time, especially if they know you.
Yeah.
Like, it is nice to have someone say, no, Tammy ain't gonna do that.
Yeah.
Because they actually know you. And so that one's a little different because there are all those times it's like, oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Like,
and I believe that's what my mom that was her intent. But there's a little more dynamic in there that I'm just like, you know,
totally get it.
She likes to be sometimes the person who saves the day. And so, you know, if someone else wanted me to do that, she wanted, you know. So anyway,
number 3.
The last thing is, I got time today. Just because I'm busy doesn't mean I don't have time today. And so I say it in that way because you sometimes something happens and normally you would overlook it. But it could hit you in the right place where you're like, no, I'm going to spend a little time there today. And so this one time, I don't think I've ever told you this, but one time we went out as a family for Mother's Day to the Cheesecake Factory. This is before everybody was debating whether or not the Cheesecake Factory was a place you should go and all that kind of thing.
Okay.
But anyway, we had this young guy who was our server, and he came to the table and greeted us, and he said, "Happy Mammy's Day."
Oh no.
He was a young white guy.
Oh.
And so,
like, what made, no, this is a whole different conversation, but carry on.
That's why I said we're going to take some twists and turns. So I sat there.
I've never heard that.
He said, "Happy Mammy's Day."
I could see Andre's eyes.
Dude, I don't even know if we were dating at the time. Cause this was like me, my mom, Noelle.
Oh, different Mother's Day.
And and the kids, but not my kids because they weren't in the world at the time. So I don't even know if he was in the picture.
We digress.
But so I was sitting there and we were all looking like, should we say something or not? But I was like, no, I got time today.
On this. I'm gonna tell you right now.
I got time today. So we were busy having our nice, trying to have our nice Mother's Day. But so he came back and I could tell like I said, he was young. And so I just explained to him like the origin of that word and that we are people who, we don't want to be referred to as mammies.
Correct.
And so he was very apologetic. You know, he was like, oh my gosh, I didn't mean it. And he said, I've been saying that to all my tables. And so I was like,
Please.
Thankfully, because we were the early crowd on a Sunday. So I'm like, thankfully he didn't say it to a later crowd, because he would have got it.
He needs to go. There's some things, I'm sorry, it doesn't come out smoothly. You almost have to work to come up with that. No. No. He went out of his way to be rude.
Well,
I'm not buying it.
I went out of my way to explain. And I wasn't rude. I wasn't confrontational. I just wanted, sit down, sir. Gonna teach you a lesson today that you will never forget.
Wow.
And so anyway, later on, it was another young lady that came to her table. She was like, oh, my friend is back there and he didn't mean any harm, but thank you for telling him, because he needed to know. And so there's just sometimes where you can let some things go, but then there are some days like, no, I got time today to explain it to you, what you said and did. So
no,
when has there been a time where you're like, no, I got time today?
I will tell you, I got time today more often than not.
Okay.
If it's something that really, I'm very good at addressing things in the moment. I'm very good at that. And I was just trying to think on the cuff if I could think of something just immediately, and nothing just pops immediately to mind.
But normally you would let it.
I'm very good at addressing it immediately.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. I mean, I think you have to you know.
Yep. You don't have to think about how I felt about it. You don't have to think about it. It's going to
be
no
guessing, because you're gonna know.
Yep.
Yeah, so that was it.
Whoa.
Just because I'm busy doesn't mean I don't have time.
That is so good, because sometimes I think people use our busyness as a cop out for them. Yeah. It was like, oh, I thought you're so busy, so I didn't even want to ask you to do this. No, that's not true. Yeah. Great. That was a good one. Yeah. Thanks.
All right. So we're going on to the Will Be the Judge segment, where we give our qualified yet unqualified opinion. And so April says, hey, Tamara and Dannelle, I looked at my bank account and discovered I'm apparently subscribed to 12 things. I only remember signing up for about 3. How often are y'all checking your subscriptions?
For me, you said her name's April?
April. Mm-hmm.
For me, April, not often, just because I don't have a lot of subscriptions. And so subscriptions don't happen upon me. Subscriptions are those things that I actually have to put something in. So I don't understand, have you been scammed, or has somebody signed up and they're using your credit card or something? I don't know, but I don't check often because I have 4. I know what they are, and 2 of them I'm thinking about. By next week I may be down to 2. So I don't check them often, because that's just not my thing.
You could probably guess that we're very different on this, and I'm not endorsing a company when I say this, but there is a tool out there. It's called Rocket Money, and they audit your subscriptions, because I have a bunch. iTunes subscription, Netflix, Peacock, Paramount Plus.
I need your Paramount Plus.
I get you.
But carry on.
Let's see. Amazon Prime. Lingo Kids for the kids.
Don't throw it in for the kids. Okay.
Yeah, I would never need Lingo Kids. There's the Dear Gabby. She's like a spiritual coach. I could keep going. And so now I go through and I look, it's probably 20 or 30.
Yeah. No.
It's so, well, but there are, I have now subscriptions to Liquid Text for school and, some other things. So I have a lot of subscriptions, but I know what they are. And I think that's the first step, is to finding a tool that can help you know what they are. If you have an iPhone, you can go to Apple subscriptions and see, where all the subscriptions are. And when because there are times when I'll download an app that says, okay, here you get a 7-day trial, and so you sign up for that, and then you forget to cancel it. So it's like it's a thing.
See, with that, April, if I'm gonna get that 30 days or 7 days, I'm putting on my calendar for day 5, and that reminder comes. I'm very disciplined about not pushing off that reminder. When it comes, whatever I'm doing, I then cancel it.
Yeah, so that's a good tool to manage.
Yep.
But also, I think now Apple is sending you a reminder. You have something that's about to, so you know, if it's sent, when you get that reminder, act on it immediately, because otherwise you'll be like, oh, I'll do that in a second, and you forget. So I think like I said, the first step is knowing what your subscriptions are, and then we went through a season where we were like, okay, let's try to pare some of these down, and so we did get rid of some. And YouTube TV, we have a subscription for that. We have so many.
Yeah.
So many.
But the other thing is, April, I do, regardless of the subscriptions, I mean, I'm never shocked by them, because I do think you should peruse your account routinely. And it sounds like you have just almost done a deep dive of some sort into these subscriptions. So I think if you review your account, that kind of gives the reminder of, I'm still paying for this.
Yeah.
But the Apple is tricky, because
Canva is one of my other ones.
Yeah.
I got so many. Gosh. So many.
All right.
It's these little bitty dust mites eating at my money.
Yep. And they are. But hey, it happens. It happens.
Yeah. So good luck. Check the subscriptions often. That'll help you. All right, so we are doing Against My Better Judgment, and Tamara has something.
So this one's quite unique on so many levels, but Against My Better Judgment, I agreed to an out-of-town speaking engagement without a contract. Okay. So this is all on me, all poor decisions. Exhibit A. This is a relative asked me to be the guest speaker for this speaking engagement.
Is it at a church?
No.
Okay.
It was a banquet organization.
Okay.
So I should have known then, like, here we go. So, but because they had a celebrity that was singing.
Oh.
Yeah, so I'm like, oh, there's no way.
Who's the celebrity?
Tamia? No. Oh, Tamar? Not Tamar, but Tamar. Oh. It's a gospel singer. It's not Tamia, though.
I don't know.
She's so popular. I know her name. Anyway, they had a celebrity singer, which is really why a lot of people bought tickets for the event. But I just happened to be the speaker. That's the other part of this. It was in Memphis. So
you incurred travel costs.
Exactly. So, number one, a relative asked me, be wary with things that involve relatives asking you for stuff. Just be wary. Don't, if you always get a contract, get it from your uncle, your aunt, grandmama, mama, dad. Get that contract signed. All right. So a relative asked me. Number two, it was out of town. So I incurred travel expenses. Number three, I actually made a donation because I felt like it was the right thing to do.
Oh, so you paid to speak there?
Correct. Kinda at the end of the day. So now I'm getting mad all over again. So it was a hit. It was their annual fundraiser, their big fundraiser of the year. Great event, great cause. But when it was over, I was like, okay, I'm not going to address this like right now. Because the relative that told me about it's like, oh, we got you. We're going to square all that away. I had no reason not to believe it. I didn't. I had no reason not to believe it until it never got squared away. So I was like, so what about, my speaker fee? Where is it? Well, we're working through some stuff, blah, blah, blah. We're going to cut you a check. Okay, fine. A month later, what about my speaker fee? Can you make a cricket sound? Because that's what I heard. I heard crickets. Nothing. So, it was one of those lessons of, and it was a hit.
Wait, did you talk in advance about what your speaker fee was?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay.
It was agreed upon.
Okay.
I mean, there was all
And
of
was it agreed that they were going to pay your travel expenses?
that was not agreed upon, but I wasn't upset with that because while it was a travel to Memphis, I was going to stay with my parents. That part wasn't an issue because I was never going to stay. I mean, gas, but that's
gas is high though.
It is, but that was kind of a wash because I was going to stay with my parents. So that part wasn't the only and keep in mind, this was a charitable event also. So I didn't want to squeeze it, but I had a fee that needed to be paid. So crickets. And so I just ended up eating it. And it was so again, I think I talked to you. I was like, do you have a contract for speaking engagements?
Oh, okay.
But it just goes to show if it's not in writing, then it's hard to be taken as seriously as you want to be taken.
Yeah.
There's something about a contract that even though was I gonna sue the charity? No, I wasn't. But there is something about we have to take ourselves seriously.
Yeah, it's like
when it's business.
Yeah, it's like they are taking you seriously and you're taking them seriously when you both sign on the dotted line.
Correct. So lesson learned, y'all get that contract, get it signed.
So here's my question. Are you talking to your relative anymore?
I am. It's one of those things that it was a lesson learned. The relative, I should have known better. And it's just not worth it. Be real clear. I mean, we're not kicking it. I mean, you're not getting an invite to anything or anything like that. But, yeah.
So what's that next conversation going to be like? Hey.
No, we've already had the next conversation.
Okay.
It's just, hey, I mean, and I know. I'm not going to sweat over this. It wasn't to pay a bill. It wasn't to, it's fine.
Yeah.
It's just fine. I mean, lesson learned. And I also learned a lot about that relative, right?
Yeah.
I learned a lot about mutual respect. I learned a lot about ethics and morals. I learned a lot about trustworthiness or the lack thereof. I've learned, and I've also learned a lot about those that flock with this relative. So it's all good. It was probably maybe at the end of the day, it was probably a least expensive lesson because I could have definitely made one that really cost me loaning some money,
Yeah. Well, I think probably what's going to happen is in the near future, you're going to be invited to speak somewhere and you're going to be like, oh, nope. And it was designed to remind you.
Yep. And I'm like, y'all,
make that mistake
y'all, I've been burned by this before. I know you probably don't want to, but it just helps us all.
Yeah.
Yep. Got it.
So, well, I'm glad to hear that you had a great speech and,
no, it was
for a good cause.
It was all good.
And I hope the singer was good too.
She was. I wish I could think of her name. Her name literally just escaped me. And her father was the founder of the organization. Literally, it just escaped me.
Okay.
It was not escape. But anyway, what were your what were your takeaways?
Well, again, time. Allow someone to give the time that they have for you, and also allow someone to speak for their own time is my big takeaway. And yeah.
No, I totally agree. I think also being cognizant of what we're giving off, right? Mm-hmm. I'm totally not responsible for your perception. I'm not. I'll say that first. But also, to some degree, just being self-aware and mindful of if everything I say has to do with how busy I am, when I'm talking to X person, then maybe I also need to kind of modify what I'm saying because I didn't call to hear about how busy you are.
Yeah.
So I really like it.
But you called to hear about their life. So,
correct. Correct.
But don't make them feel bad for
exactly. That's fair.
Being too busy to be bothered.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. So, I liked it.
Yeah, this was fun. So if you enjoyed it, or if you want us to talk to you about your choices and your life choices, send us an email at againstmybetterjudgment@gmail.com.
It is Against My Better Judgment Pod.
Thank you. At gmail.com, or on Facebook or Instagram at Against My Better Judgment Pod.
Also, if you like what we're doing, please like, click, and subscribe. And if there are any stars, there have to be 5 of them. So thank y'all.
We want to be it.
All right.
Have a great one.
Bye.